Hey guys, Tommy Bryson here, and there are a lot of things in news about Facebook, okay? Facebook changed their name from Facebook to Meta. But if you ever watched a movie on Facebook, like The Social Network, you would know that Facebook at some point was actually named The Facebook, then became Facebook, and now all of a sudden is called Meta. And by being called Meta, they're kind of saying like, hey, we want to be known for creating the next level of the internet, and we want to create a Black Mirror episode from Netflix, but instead make it happen in the real world. Kind of like Ready Player One, that movie, but like in real life. That's pretty cool, honestly. But overall in this video, let's ignore all of that and talk about basically what is happening with Facebook, okay? Facebook stock, why the rebrand, and what actually caused it. That is what I'm gonna answer in this video without the fuss, without the this, without the that, okay? In this video, I'm gonna break everything down. If you guys are new here, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified, and on top of that, also smash the like button. So the first thing, guys, is tell me what's going on with Facebook and why did they decide to rebrand and change their names? As we know, Facebook is the actual company, but Facebook itself owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. And on top of that, Facebook makes money, for example, from advertising primarily, and also from collecting your data and selling it to advertisers, okay? Not directly, but they sell it back to their own advertisers. In reality, it's kind of like doing the exact same thing. But overall, guys, Facebook itself is not changing. Like the application, social media network, Facebook is not changing. Neither is Instagram or WhatsApp. What is changing is just the name of the company. It used to be called Facebook, but now it's called Meta. And Meta is still the owner of Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp and all those apps that we basically love, okay? So in reality, nothing is changing. It's still the same name. So nothing to worry about that far. So it won't be like, hey, now I have to go to meta.com to go to Facebook. No, it's still Facebook. Things are going to stay the same, so don't worry about that. However, though, by the way, the ticker symbol is going to change from FB to M for more, V for Victor, and R for Racing, and S for S, okay? It's changing to that, all right? However, it doesn't really change anything. It's just a rebrand. It's just a name. However, though, I do want to give you guys some details because these details right here are going to give you a few hints to why Facebook change your name to Meta and why they're doing this whole rebrand right now and where it actually came from. So here are the details and listen very clearly because I'm about to go very, very deep. Okay, guys? So you guys might not know this, but Facebook bought Oculus, okay? Oculus VR for around $2 billion. And Oculus VR is like those headset you put on. It's basically like doing the whole virtual reality thing. And that stuff is cool, man, because it's kind of like a Black Mirror episode, right? You think about the technology, where it is now and where it could be in the future. And that's awesome. Imagine, for example, a virtual reality contact lens, you put it on and boom, you're with your friends in this whole different world, all that stuff. Now, what that does is it grabs your attention. Just that idea right there grabs your attention, and I probably did the exact same thing. So I want you to remember that all this is doing, the Meta stuff, the VR stuff, the virtual world stuff, all this stuff is just grabbing your attention. And by the way, Meta stands for going beyond, or like, you know, that's like the Greek translation, like beyond. And metaverse is kind of like having, for example, a virtual world where people can basically connect and so on. And that stuff is cool and it grabs your attention. Don't forget about that, okay? It grabs your attention. Now, that's not all, guys, okay? Because the second detail I want to give you is that Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, not all the apps Facebook owns, honestly, they own a lot more, but the most popular ones out there. Now, between Facebook, it brings in around 2.9 billion monthly users every month. Instagram brings in around 1 billion and WhatsApp around 2 billion. Why am I telling you this? Because in reality, if you have an iPhone or an Android, you probably have all three apps installed. And as we already know, Facebook makes a lot of money from advertising and collecting data and building profiles on you, okay? We know that stuff, okay? Because guess what? When you're not being sold something, you are the product. We understand that. That's why WhatsApp is free, Instagram is free, Facebook is free. Because guess what? You are the product. You're selling yourself. That's what's going on there. However, though, guys, okay, there is something that changed a lot. My third detail here, hint, is that actually Apple had a privacy change. Now, what was this privacy change which I wasn't even aware of? Well, in reality, guys, when you went on your iPhone and you went to Facebook or WhatsApp or Instagram, which we most likely all have on our iPhones, or, well, I won't mention the Android people because it's different for the Apple people because Apple changed their policy. I don't know about the Android people. The Android persons, I want to be polite. I was also an Android person before, okay? So nothing to worry about. However, though, guys, okay, it used to be that basically when you went to Facebook, WhatsApp, or Instagram, and you went to other apps outside of those, and you went to different websites and different things like that, you were still being tracked. Your activity was still being tracked, meaning they were collecting all that information, although you weren't using their app. And also your location, where you went, kind of freaky stuff, okay? But this is how they actually get you with targeted ads. That's why, for example, you can be on Google searching something, and all of a sudden, you're like, yo, what's going on here? Like, I'm on Facebook now, and I'm getting advertisements for that exact same thing I was looking up just a second ago. Or I was talking to my friend about it, and all of a sudden, I'm seeing that ad right there, okay? That's kind of how that happens right there, okay? Because they were tracking you back and forth. But Apple said, haha, no more. We're actually going to ask the user if they want to be tracked. And most people are opting out. Now, me personally, I like personalized ads because I don't want to get ads for products I don't care about. That's fine. But I'm not a big fan of being tracked all over the place because it just feels weird, okay? And Facebook is mad about that because by building as much of a detailed profile possible, you become more valuable to advertisers. Basically means more money in their pocket. That's how that works. Now, that's my third detail. Now, my fourth detail is, guys, that basically there have been a lot of controversies with Facebook. So the first one is we have leaked documents from a whistleblower, AKA a snitch if you come from where I'm come from, okay? However, though, it's a whistleblower, let's be nice. And what she's saying is that basically, hey, I have evidence that Facebook cares more about money than they care more about privacy. And Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg's like, oh no, that's not true, blah, 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 blah. You guys know how it's gonna go, like it's just a back and forth. However, you also have controversy on, hey, freedom of speech, controversy on, hey, they're pushing the wrong, like allowing the wrong things on the website, allowing the wrong videos, they should basically silence everyone, whatever. There is a lot of controversy around Facebook. Now, whenever there's controversy, here's my fifth detail here, you have pullback from advertiser because big companies don't want to be associated with controversy. So back in 2020, for example, there was a whole like ad campaign or ad boycott on Facebook, meaning that advertisers were pulling away from Facebook, like Coca-Cola and also, for example, Starbucks. And by the way, no company is perfect. So Coca-Cola makes obesity drinks and then Starbucks makes like in a cup. Let's just be real. Let's be honest. Okay. No company is perfect. However, though, guys, okay, none of this has actually slowed down business for Facebook. In 2019, it made around $70 billion from advertising, and in 2020, it made around $84.2 billion in advertising. And by the way, let's be real here, big companies don't want the drama, but they do want what Facebook has, which is basically the sauce, because they have very detailed information on people. And that basically drives more revenue into their pockets also. They just don't want to be associated with the bad guy. Let's just be real on that. But overall, guys, why am I telling you all of these little details here and there, okay? Apple, oh my gosh, controversy, oh my gosh, they have so many viewers and all this stuff, and the boycott. Why does this matter? Why is it important? Because when you think about it, guys, okay, no one wants to do business with the bad guy. And if that happens, well, companies pull back from doing advertising with Facebook, which basically means shareholders, people that actually own shares in Facebook, they lose interest and they kind of get scared because earnings are going to go down, meaning less money. And that means they're going to sell their shares, which basically means the price is going to go down, meaning Facebook is going to become a less valuable company. And then lastly, if things become like super radical or whatever, potentially users might stop using Facebook and go somewhere else. But let's be honest, though, like where are they really gonna go? To Snapchat? Like, let's be real, like not really gonna happen. Or TikTok? You know what I'm saying? So like, Facebook is a very strong company. But overall, guys, what I really want to say is that basically, the word on the streets is this, is that basically, Facebook is doing this whole rebrand right now to distract us from what's actually going on. And that's basically that they are under a lot of stress. You know, Apple doing this whole thing can basically cost them a lot of money in advertising. That's one thing. Second thing is, all this controversy and bad publicity is going to hurt them in some way. So the best thing is, remember what I said in the beginning of the video? Hey, this whole idea of VR, virtual space, the meta stuff is very attractive and it gets your attention. Yeah, that's called propaganda. So let's switch the conversation from what's actually going on to what we want you to talk about and think about. So the word on the street is basically that, hey, they're paying all these creators, talking about this technology, rebranding the whole thing because they don't want to talk about what is actually going on. And they want to basically erase that whole publicity because they don't want it. That's the word on the street. And by the way, I'm a big fan of the whole meta thing. But I also understand that this technology, according to the experts, by the way, I'm not an expert, is like 10 to 20, 30, 40 years in the future. All right, it's not gonna happen right now. So why talk about something that's not gonna happen right now? Because it creates interest, obviously, but it could also just be a distraction. Honestly, let's be real. A distraction from, hey, profits are most likely going to go down. We have a lot of controversy going on, and we don't wanna have big companies not advertise on our platform. So you think about this, guys, think about, for example, on YouTube, there was something called the ad apocalypse, where basically big advertisers do not advertise, and that costs like a lot of money to creators. So it's like the same thing, but worse on Facebook. So we don't want that to happen on Facebook, and Facebook doesn't want that either. That's the whole idea. So making the whole meta thing, rebranding the company, making the conversation about like the meta universe and all this other stuff pulls the attention away from everything bad that potentially can happen. And when that bad does happen, and by the way, in this world, the truth always comes to light, well, the share price might go down. And if it falls below intrinsic value, it might make for a perfect buying opportunity. Because let's be honest, who's going to beat Facebook? Facebook is massive. And to even get into that business is like this massive moat around it. It's almost impossible. It costs a lot of money. And Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, like I said before, he's ruthless. Business is ruthless. He might be nice with no smile, but he's ruthless, okay? But overall, guys, Tommy, what is your opinion here? What's gonna happen? What should I do? The answer is I have 3 opinions. First thing is that people are fickle, meaning one day they love you, one day they hate you. And they can change from just like that, okay? So I understand that. And I understand that Facebook can potentially be scared about that. It's kind of like how you have an artist, they are great, do something wrong, and all of a sudden everyone hates them, like Travis Scott right now. Also, for example, I understand that business is ruthless. So Mark might look nice, but the man is a businessman and he didn't get where he is right now by being Mr. Nice Guy all the time. I also understand that business and propaganda go hand in hand, just like politics, right? So if there is a bad conversation, let's pull away from that and talk about something else. That's what propaganda basically is. So overall, I can see that being the reason for this whole rebrand right now. Could it be the only reason? Most likely no. I do like Mark. I do like this whole idea. It's pretty cool stuff, but it's also like a very distracting idea. On top of that, I also think that, Tommy, should I invest into the stock? Should I not invest into it? Should I stop using Facebook? The answer is, guys, I recommend you don't pick any sides. I recommend you study both sides and then make your own decisions, because when you do that, it means you're thinking for yourself. But when all you do is like, hey, Tommy said X, so I'm gonna do X. The answer is that's not thinking, is lazy thinking. Or I read X over here or X over here, I'm gonna do this. The answer is no, that's lazy thinking. Don't do that because you can be easily manipulated. So read from both sides and then make a decision. And lastly, I believe that, this news is cool, but Facebook is still a super strong company. Let's be real, let's be honest. And on top of that, I think that trying to keep up with all this stuff and everything's going on over there is gonna cost you like 4 to 8 hours of your day every single day. And I'd rather use that time on my cats and my fiance in that order. So overall, if you ask me, guys, Facebook is going through stuff. No company is perfect. Like I said before, Coca-Cola, obesity, Starbucks, Cup. There's a lot of things you can say about companies out there. So in reality, none of them are perfect. But when it becomes the cool thing to look at a company and be like, it's not the company, blah, 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 it can become like a downfall, all right? However, I do believe Facebook is a strong company. But overall, that's what's going on Facebook. Propaganda, all right? I'll see you guys next time, though. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. Comment down below what you want me to do next. I'll make that video ASAP. On top, if you want to talk to me one-on-one, join me on Instagram at Instagram. Facebook also has that, huh? At Tommy Bryson, or send me or call me. The link is down below to call me for free. On top of that, up here is my channel. Subscribe here and click here to watch more content. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Long-term team out.